Alright, so for this lecture, we're going to be talking about how we can add cell protection to our worksheet. Now, if you ever shared your workbook with another user, you have probably found that there are specific cells that you don't want them to modify, especially the cells that contain formulas or special formatting. So adding protection does two things. One, it gives user a little bit more comfortable feeling working inside your spreadsheet so they don't have to worry about accidentally messing something up. And two, it protects the functionality of our spreadsheets. So we know that our formulas won't get deleted and still reference the correct cells. So let's take our report, for example, and add protection to our report. So let's say we use this report every 3 months. The expenses stay the same, the title stays the same, everything stays the same except for maybe the months and the cost of each expense. But all the formulas and functions to get the total, percent of total, min, max, average, and so on remain the same. So we only want to allow the users to change cells B3 to D8, just the months and the cost of each expense. Now automatically, every cell has their lock property turned on. For example, in cell A1, if we select the cell, give it a right click, go down to Format Cells, and if we come over to this Protection tab, we could see that the lock property is turned on. Even though that the lock property is turned on, it doesn't do us any good without actually protecting the worksheet. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to click OK to get out of this. Come up to the Review tab and select Protect Sheet. And down here, we see there's an option to enter a password. This is optional, you don't have to, but if you do enter a password, it's very important that you do not forget the password, because it can be really challenging to unlock a spreadsheet without the correct password. So make sure you write it down somewhere and don't forget it, keep it in a safe location. So we're going to click OK. So now the worksheet is locked. And if I try to come up here back in cell A1 and start typing, we get a warning message saying the cell or chart you're trying to change is on a protected sheet. And that goes for any cell. So if we try to change the cost of goods sold of January from 1,000 to 2,000, we'll get that warning message again. Go ahead and click OK. So if we want users to be able to change the months and the cost of each expense, is to select the cells that we can allow them to change, give the selection a right click. Format Cells is grayed out because the sheet is still protected. So this shows that when a sheet is protected, users can't change the properties of these cells. So I'm going to go back up here and click Unprotect Sheet. Now we can give our selection a right click, go to Format Cells, click the Protection tab, and uncheck the lock property, and click OK. Now if we go back up to our Review tab and select Protect Sheet, click OK. Now every cell in our spreadsheet is locked, except for the months and the cost of the expenses. So once again, if I try to change cell A1, we get our warning message. But if I come down here in cost of goods sold for January, I can change it from 1,000 to 2,000. And our formulas will update. So adding protection gives us a little sense of insurance, not just for us, but also for the user, because we are worried about the user messing up the functionality of our spreadsheet. But also the user can go in here freely and not worry about messing anything up. For example, if they accidentally click delete on one of the sum functions to give us the total, they won't be able to, so our formulas will stay intact, making sure that our spreadsheet still produces the correct values.